世界は壊れることなく動いている。なぜそれを崩そうとする？やあ、どうした？もはや逃げられぬぞ。目覚めよ、原初より封じられし思考の真理、スピリチュアルランター。バルキリーアナトミア。
Hello guys, it's ScherBR talking and we're back for another video on this channel. And today we're gonna give a look on the Supreme Deity Odin. This new character was released sometime around 6 days ago. I didn't have the time to do this review before because I was getting information and I want to change my format so I can give more information to you guys, and this makes for a better review. And well, Supreme Deity Odin is a character that was released around 2 years in the game release on Japan, and he is an F activate type of character. He also kind of competes with Creation Valkyrie, but he was buffed probably because of it, because he still has less physical attack than Creation Valkyrie, but he has more physical and mag defense compared to her. The problem with the two characters is that while Creation Valkyrie is a non-elemental type of character, she gains more damage with her potential force to the ice element. While Supreme Deity Odin is from the ice element, he will focus on dealing ice damage. When Creation Valkyrie can do other things, use other type of elements, but she will perform better when using the ice element. Okay, so, well, when we see here that he was buffed for global, the final values were around 10 or 15%, so that he could get some more close to Creation Valkyrie. I think this was why they created this buff. So he also is from the god. He can be used on the main slot, just like Creation Valkyrie, even more similar to her. And you see this information here, this image was posted from Facebook, but it still lacks a lot of information that I know you guys expect for me to explain. And I have a good thing here. I did some researches and made some images that can explain this character better. So let me just remove this one here and start with this one. Well, just remember, I did all this tests to test this character by myself. I'm not basing this, at least this part, it was just me. I was testing this character, made some reroll counts to make this test so you can see how strong he is. Well, the first thing, he has 3 attacks, just like most characters in the game. The first attack is his most powerful attack and also from the ice element. What is the good thing about this? When the characters have this type of layout, it's even better because, well, let me explain why. I will enter the game here. Let me just close this image and get to my Creation Valkyrie, enter the potential force, and let me explain. If you want a balanced character, you will have to unlock the first attack count plus, being the left one. If your character is a physical damage dealer, this is the only one that's really worth, because you get more attack and more defense just by going this route. If you go this route here, you get the attack, but the other things are not that important. You get more HP, get more limit break, but this doesn't make much impact on your character. And that the right path only gives you mag and mag defense, and physical damage dealers doesn't need this stuff much. You could argue the mag defense works for great word users because they don't have much mag defense, but still they are focused on attack and defense. And well, when we look at Supreme Deity Odin, let me just get back to his moodies. When you unlock her forward attack, you'll be unlocking another ice attack. So if you don't have an ice elemental weapon, he will be doing more damage by potential force, and also because it's his strongest attack. But now we have to talk about other things. You see that the 3 attacks combined has a multiplier of 90.8. It's very high, one of the highest in the game. It's pretty standard for characters of the 2nd generation, the characters that has the F activate. And you see that there's another problem with this guy here. I want to talk about this. We need to compare him even further with Creation Valkyrie, because they kind of share the same element when the focus damage. The first thing here is that all of his attack animations are not good. Creation Valkyrie has 2 attacks that kind of won't ever miss most of the time. The first attack is teleguided. It will hit the enemy, don't matter where the enemy is. The third attack is also an attack that kind of hits the whole screen, kinda. It is almost impossible to miss. The second attack also has a very, very large hit. What can I say? Hit area. The arrow the attack hits is very, very large. This doesn't happen with Supreme God Odin. All of his 3 attacks have very limited area of hits. The first attack, he just launches 3 small ice things, then he just kind of gives an attack to the floor, and then he just jumps and finishes the attack by launching himself to the enemy. The third attack is kind of the hardest one to miss, but the first 2 are very, very easy to miss. This character has to be used with the other characters that doesn't keep launching the enemy, or else you'll be losing your attacks. He has 8 hits, and you can see how much he can increase on the Purification Gauge. It's just below the number of attacks. So that's his problem. You have to choose well the characters that you use along him. And well, let's talk about the Purification attack. And Supreme Odin has the highest number of hit count so far. With Spiritual Lancer, it's 7.5 multiplier with 18 hits. It's very, very high number of hits, but the damage itself is not that high. It's just above average and the standard for characters of his generation. So, well, these are the informations about the attacks. Now we have to give a look on the most important things that are the passive skills. The passive skills, I have a screen that I searched for all this information here. Some of it comes from the spreadsheet from the Japanese version, and some I had to try myself. The first one, it's we need to talk about. It's that he is an F-activate character, so his orb will give 1.5k attack and mag attack, and 750 defense and mag defense. It's very high numbers. It really helps you, and this status won't cost you your original status before you reach the limit. And well, another thing is his orb is one of the most powerful orbs in the game, because it increases 70% of his potential damage. It's very, very high. But it's also focused on ice damage. He has to use an ice elemental greatsword. We have Whirlpool Shade easily to be used with him. And well, let's talk about the Chief God's power, and it increases the attack up to 40%. And it's standard for characters of his generation and similar. Now then we have the Chief God Domination. The Chief God Domination is a very unique type of skill. The first thing is that it increases all abilities of Supreme Odin, but every set number of turns. Well, every set number of turns, it's the first turn, then he has 2 turns without it, and then it activates again, 2 turns without it. It's 1 turn active, 2 not activate. So this is useful for times when you need a nuke, or when you need to survive bosses that have this type of attacks, this pattern of attacks. They always attack with more damage on the third attack, the first and the fourth turn. So that's it. Well, but there's the more important thing here is that it also draws more enemy attacks at all times, not on just this specific turns. It's always activated. So by drawing more enemy attacks, he kind of becomes an off tank. He can replace characters like Arngrim, because Arngrim is just way too strong. His orb increases 50% of the defense and mag defense, and just no other tank can compare to that stuff. But he can be used as an off tank and also align himself with Arngrim. Wait just a minute. Okay, so well, that's I think he's very good. He also can use the Avenger's Word from the Wildthread signature weapon as a sub weapon to try to increase it even further, or even Arngrim can use it, and you can use both together. And when using the 2 together, the other characters from your squad won't be attacked. I don't know if the 2 are enough to increase the aggro to both 100% and 0% to the other 2, but it's very, very good. So okay, and there's also the other skill called the Chief God's Protection, and it increases all his attacks when the start of the start of your turn. It doesn't stack. but it will increase the attack of everyone if your Purification Gauge is on level 1. So this kind of mechanic that it has to have a Purification Gauge on level 1 is something that will happen to most characters released in the near future, but some of other characters won't need to have the Purification Gauge on level 1. But it's very good because it's just something that we always have right now, because a lot of number of attacks having Purification Gauge on level 1 at least is very good. Okay, so he also has the Lofty War God limited skill that he sacrifices 1 level Purification Gauge for 10% increase on all status for 2 turns. Well, I don't think this is just much work, because the cooldown is 5 turns. It's just something to increase his nuke power or his resistance level on the turns that Chief God Domination is activated. Another thing that we need to talk about Odin is just that he has all of his skills, you just look at, are good. He's not like some characters that has one skill that's terrible and his orb skill is better than the terrible skill. It's not like that. You see that his orb skill is from the yellow color, and the yellow color is based on the Chief God's protection that increases the attack of the whole squad. So this is one of the best things about this character. But the good things kind of ends here. You see that he has the party assist and party skill. Both are terrible. Well, weapon assist is not terrible. It's just that every character that doesn't have character assist will have weapon assist. Creation Valkyrie had character assist instead of weapon assist, so she was way better because of it. And another thing is that Creation Valkyrie has Omni as a party skill, and he has Steadfast. Steadfast is not usable, it's not one of the best ones. So by getting the best party skill makes Creation Valkyrie even better with her outsource type of support. And character assist and weapon assist is something that you always need to have. You can have the two together, but when trying to opt for a banner that has Creation Valkyrie, I still recommend going for Creation Valkyrie instead of Supreme Odin. Okay, so now I have some more information here on, and you see the maximum damage potential. I kind of used all the values to show you guys what's the highest type of damage this character can do, considering that everything is maxed, and it's 135% damage, and plus 10 if you have Lofty War God activated, it's limited skill. Also, we have information about his roles. He has increased aggro, he has party buffer and occasional power. This is something I created just to make reviews. Increased aggro because he can draw more enemy attacks, party buffer because he can create some buff to your characters, and occasional power because he has more power on specific turns. Okay, well, that's it. I think I finished here. Supreme God Odin is a good character, but not so valuable to people that already have Creation Valkyrie. So it's your decision to summon. And fortunately, we already have more characters coming on, and we have one very interesting that I'll be doing a review very soon. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see each other in the next video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and till next time. Bye.